If you listen carefully to real English conversations, you'll notice one small word that appears everywhere. People use it when talking about work, food, travel, feelings, and even understanding. You hear it in sentences like, I got home late, I'm getting tired, let's get coffee, or did you get my message? That word is get, and it's one of the most flexible verbs in English. Many learners find it confusing, but today we're going to make it simple. By the end of this episode, you'll start recognizing its patterns, meanings, and how people use it naturally every day.
Exactly. Instead of a long grammar lecture, we'll explore get through real conversations and practical phrases you can use immediately. You'll hear how native speakers say it at home, at work, on the bus, or in a cafe. Our goal is to make you feel comfortable when you hear get and confident when you use it. Don't worry about remembering everything, just relax and let the language come to you naturally.
In this episode, we'll cover the main forms: get, gets, got, and getting. We'll see how to use them in the present, past, and for changes over time. Plus, we'll go through common expressions, useful phrases, and natural situations where get appears. And the best part, you'll get to repeat sentences with us and practice speaking, so you're not just understanding get, you're actually using it.
Think of this as a relaxed chat in a cafe, no pressure, no tests, no complicated rules. Step by step, we'll start with a simple warm-up conversation, explore the meanings of get, and practice together. By the end, you'll notice how often it comes up and probably start using it without thinking. That's when learning really clicks. So, welcome back to Speak English Every Day. I'm Sara, and with Tony, we're happy you're spending a few minutes with us. Let's get started.
So Sara, let's start with something simple and very real. How do you usually get to work in the morning? For me, it really depends on the day and my mood. Most mornings, I get the bus because it's convenient and I don't have to think about traffic or parking. I just sit down, look out the window, and slowly wake up while the city moves around me. It's actually a peaceful part of my day, especially when I get a seat and can relax for a few minutes before everything gets busy.
That sounds nice. I usually get the train, and I kind of enjoy that time too. It gives me a moment to prepare mentally for the day. Sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I review my plans, and sometimes I just watch people getting on and off at each station. It's interesting how everyone is going somewhere different, but we all share that same space for a few minutes.
And once you get to work, what's the very first thing you do? I've noticed that many people have a little ritual when they arrive. For me, it's always the same. I get a cup of coffee before I even turn on my computer. It's like a signal to my brain that the day is starting. Without that coffee, I feel like I'm still half asleep.
I completely understand that. I usually get to the office, greet a few people, and then I go straight to the kitchen to get some tea or coffee. That small routine helps me settle in. After that, I sit down, check my messages, and get my desk organized. When everything is in order, I feel more focused and ready to start working.
In that short conversation earlier, we used get so many times without even thinking about it. That's the magic of this word in real English. It's natural, flexible, and extremely common. One of the most basic meanings of get is to receive something. For example, I get emails every day, or I got a message this morning. Anytime something comes to you, a letter, a call, or even good news, you can use get. It's simple, but so useful because it shows up in almost every situation.
Yes, and another very common meaning is when we use get to buy or fetch something. For example, I need to get some milk, or can you get some bread on your way home? Here, you're not just receiving something, you're going out, finding it, and bringing it back. In everyday speech, people almost always say get instead of formal words like buy or purchase. It's casual, easy, and very conversational.
Another important meaning is to become or to change. For example, if you say, I'm getting tired, it means your state is changing. You weren't tired before, but now you are. You can do this with many adjectives. It's getting cold, he got angry, or she's getting better at English. This meaning is extremely useful because it helps you describe changes naturally without complicated vocabulary.
And there are even more meanings. We use get for movement or transportation, like, I get the bus to work, or what time did you get home? And we also use get to mean understand, I don't get it, or when you finally understand. Now I get it. So really, get is a small word with many jobs. It can mean receive, buy, become, move, or understand. The good news is, you don't have to memorize everything at once. With practice and listening every day, you'll naturally start to get it.
Now that we've looked at the main meanings of get, let's talk about its different forms. Don't worry, this won't be a heavy grammar lesson. We'll keep it simple and practical, just like real conversations. In the present tense, we usually use get. For example, I get emails every day, or they get home around 6. It's the basic form, and you'll hear it constantly. But when we talk about he, she, or it, the verb changes slightly. We say gets. So, she gets home late, or he gets a lot of messages.
Yes, and this small change is very important, because it happens with most verbs in English. So we say, I get, you get, we get, and they get. But when it's one person, he, she, or it, if we say gets. For example, the train gets here at 9, or my brother gets very tired after work. It's a small difference, but it helps your sentences sound correct and natural.
Now let's move to the past. This part is actually easier because the past form of get is the same for everyone. The past of get is got. So you can say, I got a message yesterday, she got the job, or we got home late. It doesn't matter if it's I, you, he, she, or they, the verb always stays got in the past.
That's right, and this makes it much simpler to use. You don't have to remember different past forms for different people. Just remember, present is get or gets, and past is got. For example, I get many emails during the week, but I got 3 emails yesterday. Or, she gets up early, but she got up late this morning.
Now let's talk about the continuous form. Getting. We use getting when something is happening now or changing over time. For example, I'm getting hungry, or it's getting dark. This shows that the situation is changing at this moment. You weren't hungry before, but now you are becoming hungry.
Exactly. And we combine getting with am, is, or are. So we say, I am getting tired, he is getting ready, or they are getting excited. This form is very common in daily speech because we often talk about things that are changing, our feelings, the weather, or our plans.
Finally, let's look at the future. To talk about the future, we simply use will get. For example, I will get the tickets tomorrow, or she will get here at 6. It's very straightforward. Just remember, will plus the base form get.
Yes, and you'll hear this in many everyday situations. For example, don't worry, I'll get the bill, or we'll get there on time. It's a simple and friendly way to talk about future plans or promises.
Now let's move into one of the most useful parts of this lesson. Common phrases with get. These are the expressions you'll hear in everyday conversations. at home, at work, and out in the city. Let's start with something simple. Morning routines. One of the most common phrases in English is get up. It means to leave your bed and start your day. For example, you can say, I get up at 7 every morning. It's short, simple, and everyone understands it. After you get up, the next natural step is to get dressed. That means you put your clothes on and prepare to leave the house.
Yes, and after you get dressed, you usually get ready for the day. This phrase is very flexible. You can get ready for work, get ready for school, or get ready for a trip. It simply means you prepare yourself for something. These three phrases, get up, get dressed, and get ready, are part of most people's daily routines, so you'll hear them constantly in English conversations.
Now let's talk about transportation phrases. When you use public transportation like buses, trains, or planes, you usually say get on and get off. For example, I get on the bus near my house, or get off at the next stop. It's a very natural way to talk about entering and leaving these types of vehicles.
And for cars and taxis, we use slightly different phrases. Instead of get on, we say get in. For example, get in the car, we're late. And when you leave, you say get out. We're here, get out of the taxi. These small differences are very common in everyday speech, and once you hear them a few times, they become very easy to remember.
Let's move to arrival phrases. People often say get home, get here, or get there. These phrases simply mean arrive. For example, what time did you get home last night? Or call me when you get there. They sound much more natural and conversational than the more formal word arrive.
Yes, and these phrases are especially useful when making plans. For example, you can say, I'll get there around 6, or I usually get home at 8. They're short, friendly, and very common in everyday English.
Now let's look at phrases for buying or obtaining things. One of the most common is get a coffee. You'll hear this everywhere. Instead of saying, let's buy a coffee, people usually say, let's get a coffee. You can also say, I need to get some lunch, or I got a good price on this phone. In all these cases, get is used in a relaxed conversational way.
That's right. And there are also health-related phrases with get. For example, get sick means become ill. You can say, I got sick last week. Or get better, which means recover. I hope you get better soon. These are very common phrases, especially when talking about how someone feels.
Let's talk about work and career phrases. You can say get a job when you find employment. For example, he got a job at a bank. Another phrase is get promoted, which means you move to a higher position. She got promoted last month. And unfortunately, there's also get fired, which means you lose your job.
And in communication, we often use phrases like get a message or get a call. For example, did you get my text? Or, I got a call from my friend. There's also get in touch, which means contact someone. You might say, let's get in touch next week.
We also use get for relationships. For example, get married means you start a marriage. They got married last summer. And get along means you have a good relationship with someone. I get along well with my coworkers.
And finally, we have many phrases for feelings and states. For example, get tired, get hungry, get excited, or get nervous. These all show a change in how you feel. You might say, I get nervous before presentations, or I'm getting hungry, let's eat.
As you can see, get appears in so many everyday phrases. It's part of routines, travel, work, health, relationships, and emotions. It's everywhere.
And the more you listen and practice, the more natural these phrases will feel. You won't have to think about them, you'll just use them. That's the real goal of learning English.
Now we're going to look at a very important part of everyday English. Phrasal verbs with get. These are combinations of the verb get plus a preposition or adverb, and together they create a completely new meaning.
That's right. Let's start with a very common one, get up. This simply means to leave your bed or stand from a sitting position. For example, I get up at 6 every morning. It's a phrase you'll use almost every day, especially when you talk about routines. Another useful one is get back, which usually means to return. You might say, I'll call you when I get back home. It's simple, natural, and very common in casual conversations.
Another phrasal verb you'll hear all the time is get on. This can mean to enter a bus, train, or plane. For example, we got on the train at the central station. But it also has a second meaning. When we say we get on with someone, it means we have a good relationship with that person. So if I say, I get on with my coworkers, it means we work well together and enjoy each other's company.
That's a great example of how phrasal verbs can have more than one meaning. Let's look at another useful one, get off. This is the opposite of get on. It means to leave a bus, train, or other form of transportation. For example, I get off the bus near my office. It can also mean to leave work or finish your shift. Someone might say, I get off work at 5, which means they finish working at that time.
So as you can see, phrasal verbs with get are everywhere in English. They may seem challenging at first, but if you learn them step by step and use them in your daily conversations, they'll start to feel natural. The key is to listen for them, repeat them, and try to use them whenever you can. The bus was really crowded this morning, and it took forever to get through the traffic. I thought I was going to miss our meeting. Sometimes the morning commute can be unpredictable, especially when everyone is trying to get to work at the same time.
No problem, Tony. I totally understand. I actually got up later than usual today because my alarm didn't ring. I had to get ready very quickly, grab a coffee, and run to the station. Luckily, I managed to get on the train just before the doors closed. It was one of those mornings where everything feels rushed.
I know those mornings. Yesterday I forgot my lunch at home, so I had to get something from the cafe near the office. It wasn't bad, but it was more expensive than I expected. I keep telling myself I need to get better at preparing things the night before, but somehow I always forget.
That happens to me too. Last week, I was so busy that I didn't get around to doing my grocery shopping. By the end of the week, I had almost nothing in the fridge. I had to get takeout 2 nights in a row. It was convenient, but not very healthy.
At least you managed to get through the week. Sometimes when work gets busy, I feel like I can barely keep up. But I've been trying a new routine. I get up a little earlier, make a simple breakfast, and review my schedule before leaving home. It helps me feel more organized.
That sounds like a good habit. I've been trying to get into a better routine too. I usually get home around 6, and instead of watching TV right away, I try to get a few small tasks done, like preparing my lunch or cleaning the kitchen. It makes the next morning much easier.
Exactly. Small changes can make a big difference. If we get into good habits, our days start to feel less stressful. And when we're less stressed, it's easier to focus, stay positive, and actually enjoy our daily routines.
I agree. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's just about getting a little better every day. And those small improvements really add up over time.
Wow, Sarah, we really covered a lot today. From the different meanings of get to all its forms, common phrases, phrasal verbs, and even repetition practice. I feel like our listeners now have a complete toolkit to start using get naturally in conversations. Learning a language isn't just about memorizing words. It's about hearing them, practicing them, and using them in real life. And today, everyone got a big dose of real English practice.
Absolutely, Tony. And I want to remind everyone that it's okay if you don't get everything perfectly on the first try. The key is consistency. Just a few minutes of practice each day will make a huge difference. You're not learning just words, you're learning how to communicate, how to feel confident, and how to get your message across. And every time you practice, you get a little bit better.
Exactly. And here's a little challenge for our viewers. Today's question of the day is, what is one thing you need to get from the shop this week? Maybe it's milk, bread, vegetables, or something fun. We'd love to hear your answer. Write it in the comments below, and we'll read every single one. Engaging in the comments is a perfect way to practice English too.
Yes, and while you're at it, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. It helps us reach more learners who want to speak English naturally. And if you want more lessons like this one, subscribe to our channel. Hit that button and you'll get notified every time we post a new lesson. It's completely free, and it really supports our mission to help you improve your English step by step.
Bye everyone. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We can't wait to read your messages and get in touch with you through your English journey. See you next time.